the life you're living, it isn't just about paying bills and getting by. You were put here to make an impact. You were built to leave something behind that screen. I was here. And I don't care where you come from, what you've been through, or what the world says about you. You got something inside of you that the world needs. But here's the problem. Most people live like spectators in their own lives. They sit back, watch, and wait. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for permission. Waiting for some magic moment. You don't have time for that. You got to decide right now that you're going to leave your mark. Time is the one thing you can never get back, but too many people waste it like they have an unlimited supply. You think you got years to figure things out, but the truth is every second that passes is a second you'll never see again. You say, I'll do it tomorrow, and then 5 years go by and you're in the same place wondering where the time went. Have you ever noticed how people talk about chasing dreams, but never actually chasing them? It's because they think time is on their side. But let me tell you something, opportunity doesn't knock forever. That thing you keep putting off, somebody else is out there doing it right now. The difference between the people who make it and the people who don't is urgency. If you knew you only had a year left to live, you wouldn't be sitting around scrolling your phone or waiting for somebody to believe in you. You'd be moving. You'd be doing everything in your power to make those dreams happen. That's how you need to live, like your time is running out. People waste years of their lives sitting on the sidelines, too afraid to take action. And then one day they wake up and realize they're out of time. Don't let that be you. You don't get another shot at this life. You either do something with it or you waste it. Regret is the worst kind of pain because it never goes away. It sits on your chest heavy as a rock, reminding you of everything you could have done but didn't. You don't want to live with that. You don't want to be 70 years old, looking back at your life, wishing you're taking more risks. The clock is ticking whether you like it or not. The question is, what are you going to do with the time you have left? Are you going to let it slip away, or are you going to use it to create something that lasts? You were not born just to exist. You were not put on this earth just to work a job you hate, pay bills, and wait to die. You were built for more. But the problem is most people never take the time to figure out what that more is. They settle for what's easy, what's safe, and what pays the bills instead of asking themselves, why am I here? Everybody's got a gift. But most people spend their whole lives ignoring theirs because they think it ain't practical or it won't make them money. Let me tell you something, your gift is your purpose. That thing that lights a fire inside of you, that's what you were meant to be doing. Stop burying it because the world told you to be realistic. The people who make a real impact are the ones who fully commit to their purpose. They don't dabble. They don't play it safe. They don't half step. They wake up every day and work at it like their life depends on it because it does. You have to stop listening to people who don't see your vision. They will talk you out of your purpose because they don't have one themselves. Have you ever noticed how the loudest critics call ones who are doing nothing with their own lives? Ignore them. If God put something in your heart, it wasn't a mistake. It was an assignment. But purpose doesn't come easy. It comes with struggle. It comes with doubt. It comes with failure. That's part of the process. You don't find your purpose by sitting around waiting for a sign. You find it by getting up and doing the work. Once you find it, protect it with everything you got. Don't let people water it down. So don't let the fear of failure stop you. Don't let the fact that it's hard make you walk away. Because when you truly lock in on your purpose, you will change the world. Fear is a liar. Fear is a thief. Fear will take your dreams, your joy, and your future and leave you with nothing. Some of you are sitting on million-dollar ideas, world-changing visions, and life-changing potential, but you won't move because you're scared. Scared of failing. Scared of looking stupid. Scared of what people will say. Let me ask you something, what's worse? Failing or never trying? Because one of those you can come back from, but the other. That stays with you forever. Fear will keep you trapped in the same job, the same town, and the same life while your soul is screaming for more, and you will never be at peace until you push through it. Fear isn't real. It's your imagination creating the worst case scenario. It's your mind lying to you, making you believe that failure is something you can't recover from. But let me tell you something, failure is not the end. It's just another step. The people who make it in life aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail over and over and keep going anyway. They feel the fear and move through it. They understand that every single person who has ever done anything great had to fight through the same doubts, the same fears, the same insecurities. You have two choices: let fear control you or face it head on. If you let it control you, you will stay exactly where you are, watching other people live the life you want. If you face it, you will grow into the person you were meant to be. So what if you fail? So what if you look stupid? So what if people don't believe in you? None of that matters. The only thing that matters is that you go after what you were put here to do. Because the only real failure is never trying at all. Too many people spend their whole lives waiting for the right time, the right situation, the right amount of money, the right level of confidence. Let me tell you something, there is no perfect moment. The stars will never align, the conditions will never be flawless. And if you keep waiting, you will waste your entire life sitting on the sidelines. You tell yourself, I'll start when I have more experience. I'll chase my dream when I have more money. I'll go for it when the timing is right. That's a lie. The right time is now. The only thing holding you back is your excuses. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for the perfect moment. They started where they were with what they had and figured the rest out along the way. Do you think they had all the answers when they started? No, they just dared to begin. They understood that momentum beats perfection every single time. You keep waiting because you're afraid of failing. But here's the truth, failure is part of the process. You can't dodge it. You can't outthink it. You can't plan your way around it. The only way to succeed is to start messy, make mistakes, learn fast, and keep going. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. Have you ever noticed how years go by and that dream still sits on the shelf collecting dust? You start thinking, maybe it's too late for me. No, it's not too late. You just keep waiting when you should be working. Every moment you spend waiting is a moment you could be growing, improving, building. And every day you waste is a day you'll never get back. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. It ain't coming. Start now and let the momentum carry you forward. Do you want to leave your mark? Then you have to be so good that they can't overlook you. Success doesn't come to average people. It doesn't come to people who do just enough to get by. The world rewards masters, not amateurs. The reason most people never make an impact is that they refuse to put in the time, the discipline, and the dedication to truly master their craft. They want shortcuts. They want overnight success. But let me tell you something, excellence takes time. If you aren't willing to grind, to fail, to improve, to work when nobody's watching, then you don't want it. The people at the top of any industry didn't get there by accident. They studied harder, trained longer, and practiced more. They stayed up late when others went to sleep. They showed up early when others made excuses. That's the difference. And here's the truth, if you don't work to be the best, someone else will. Someone else is out there right now putting in the hours, the sweat, and the effort to be great. And if you're not hungry enough to match that energy, they're going to win. And you're going to be left wondering why success never came your way. You have to put in so much work that people have no choice but to notice you. They may doubt you now. They may ignore you now. But if you stay consistent, keep improving, and push past every obstacle, there will come a day when your name will be spoken in rooms you never even entered. The world doesn't owe you a thing. Do you want to make an impact? Then prove it. Work so hard that you force the world to take notice. If you want to make your mark, you got to learn to live outside your comfort zone. Everything you want, success, purpose, impact, growth, it's all on the other side of discomfort. Most people never reach their full potential because they refuse to be uncomfortable. The moment things get hard, they quit. The moment they feel fear, they stop. The moment things don't go exactly as planned, they back down. And then they wonder why they're stuck in the same place year after year. You have to stop running from discomfort. It's where the magic happens. Every time you push past fear, every time you do something that scares you, every time you embrace the struggle instead of avoiding it, you grow. And growth is what separates the great from the average. Look at anybody who's made a real impact in the world. They didn't play it safe. They didn't stay where it was easy. They took risks. They embraced failure. They stepped into the unknown. That's why they succeeded. Do you think being uncomfortable is a sign to stop? It's not. It's a sign that you're on the right path. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're not making an impact. So get used to discomfort. Seek it out. Because every time you push through it, you become stronger, smarter, and more prepared to leave a mark on the world. You weren't put on this earth just to take up space. You weren't born just to survive. You were meant to create something that lasts. Most people live their lives thinking about it right now. They chase money, temporary success, quick wins, but they never stop to ask, what am I leaving behind? They never think about legacy. But let me tell you, legacy is everything. The real impact makers, the people who change the world, build something bigger than themselves. They don't just focus on what they can get, they focus on what they can give. They create businesses, write books, mentor others, and inspire generations. They leave something that keeps going even after they're gone. You have to start thinking long term. What are you doing today that will still matter in 50 years? What are you building that will still stand when you're not here anymore? Because that's how you leave your mark. It ain't about fame. It ain't about money. It's about impact. It's about making sure that when your name is spoken, it carries meaning. If you died today, what would people say about you? Would they say you inspired them? Helped them? Changed their lives? Or would they say you just existed? You get to decide that. Stop thinking small. Stop living just for yourself. Start building something that will outlive you. The company you keep will either push you toward greatness or pull you into mediocrity. You cannot expect to leave your mark on this world if you spend all your time around people who think small, dream small, and settle for less. Take a look at your circle. Are the people around you pushing you to be better? Are they challenging you, inspiring you, holding you accountable? Or are they dragging you down with negativity, laziness, and excuses? Because let me tell you something, you will become like the people you spend the most time with. If you're surrounded by people who complain all the time, you're going to start complaining. If you hang around people who don't have ambition, you'll start lowering your expectations. But if you put yourself around winners, around people who are grinding, improving, and striving for greatness, you will rise to that level. Some of you are loyal to the wrong people. You're holding on to friendships and relationships that are keeping you stuck because you're afraid of being alone. But let me tell you this, being alone is better than being surrounded by the wrong crowd. Growth requires separation. Sometimes you have to walk away from the people who refuse to grow so you can step into your destiny. Don't waste time trying to convince small-minded people to believe in your vision. If they don't see it, that's their problem, not yours. Find people who do. Find mentors, find like-minded individuals, and find those who challenge you to be better every single day. The right people will push you to leave your mark on the world. The wrong people will make sure you never even try. Choose wisely. You can dream all you want, but if you're not putting in the work, your dream will stay exactly the dream. You say you want to leave your mark, then prove it. Nobody's going to do the work for you. Some people want success handed to them. They want results without effort. They want greatness without sacrifice. But that's not how this works. Hard work is the price you pay for success. You can either pay that price now or live in regret later. You see, there's a difference between people who want success and people who are willing to do what it takes to achieve it. Wanting something isn't enough. You have to be willing to grind for it, sweat for it, sacrifice for it. You have to wake up every day and outwork everybody around you. And let's be real, some of you are not giving 100%. You work when you feel like it. You grind when it's convenient. But the people who truly leave their mark, they show up every single day, no matter how tired they are, no matter how hard it gets. You have to be obsessed with your craft. You have to be willing to do the things most people won't, so you can live the life most people never will. Your future depends on the work you put in right now, so stop making excuses and start putting in the work. If you want to leave your mark, you have to stop blaming people for where you are in life. Nobody is responsible for your success but you. Not your parents, not your boss, not society, you. Some people spend their whole lives playing the victim, wasn't given the right opportunities. I didn't have the right support. Life is unfair. Listen, life ain't fair. But you still have to make something out of it. Sitting around blaming your past, blaming others, blaming your circumstances, it won't change anything. The moment you take full responsibility for your life, everything changes because now you're in control. Now you stop waiting for someone to save you and start figuring out how to save yourself. That's where real power comes from. Successful people don't waste time making excuses. They don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. They look at their situation and say, what can I do about it? And then they take action. If you don't like where you are right now, do something about it. If you're not happy with your results, change your habits. If you're tired of being overlooked, get better. Everything you want is in your hands, but only if you take responsibility for making it happen. When you decide to go after something great, you have to be prepared for loneliness. Most people won't understand your journey. They won't see your vision. They won't support you. And that's okay. A lot of people never leave their mark because they're too afraid to walk alone. They want to be liked. They want approval. They want everyone to support them before they even start. But that's not how greatness works. The path to success is often a lonely one. You have to be strong enough to keep going even when nobody claps for you. You have to be disciplined enough to work even when nobody is watching. Because if you need constant validation to stay motivated, you'll never make it. There will be nights when you're the only one grinding while everyone else is partying. There will be moments when you question everything because the results aren't coming fast enough. But that's where champions are made. The ability to keep going despite the loneliness, despite the doubt, despite the struggles, that's what separates the winners from everybody else. If you're afraid of walking alone, you'll never lead. If you're waiting for the world to support you, you'll be waiting forever. So stand tall, stand strong, and keep moving forward. You were not put on this earth to be average. You were not created to live a small, meaningless life. You were built for something greater. So why would you settle? Too many people settle for jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and lives that don't excite them. Why? Because it's comfortable, because it's familiar, because they're afraid to step into the unknown. But let me tell you something, comfort is the enemy of greatness. If you settle, you will never know what you are truly capable of. You will never know what could have been if you had just pushed a little harder, worked a little longer, and believed a little more. And that's the kind of regret that will eat you alive. The most painful thing in life isn't failure, it's looking back and realizing you never even tried. It's realizing you played small when you had the potential to be great. That's a pain you don't want to feel. So make a promise to yourself right now, no more settling. No more accepting less than you deserve. No more playing it safe. No more shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Go after everything that is meant for you with full force. You only get one shot at this life. Make it count. Make sure when you leave this world, your name, your work, your impact, it all lives on. That's how you leave your mark. This life is not a rehearsal. You don't get a second shot at it. Every single day you wake up, you are writing your legacy. The question is, what kind of legacy are you leaving behind? Are you just going through the motions, living an average, forgettable life? Or are you putting in the work, chasing your dreams, and making sure your name is remembered? Every great person who ever left their mark on this world had one thing in common: they refused to settle. They refused to let fear, doubt, or other people's opinions dictate their destiny. And if you want to be great, if you want your life to mean something, you have to make that same decision. You have to commit to doing what others won't, so you live how others can. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the right time. There is no perfect moment to start. Your time is now. The world doesn't care about your excuses, your fears, or your setbacks. The only thing that matters is whether you rise above them or let them define you. You have the power to shape your future. You have the power to create a life that inspires others long after you're gone. But that won't happen by accident. It happens through deliberate action, relentless work, and an unshakable belief in yourself. One day your time here will be up. And when that day comes, the only thing that will matter is what you did with the time you were given. Did you waste it? Or did you use it to create something that lasts? Did you let fear hold you back, or did you step into your greatness? The choice is yours. Leave your mark on this world because you were born to do just that.